here, and before leaving Wichita, Kansas, headed to Kansas City.
That sounds cool.
Leaving our trail of beers.
Nice. So let me ask you a couple things real quick. First of all, you've had such a huge success with your record. Judge Jerrod and the Hung Jury. Were you expecting such a huge success right off the bat, especially with the singles?
No, I made that album without a record deal, and so I wasn't expecting anything, to be honest. I'd been through a couple record deals, and I was just so depressed and miserable because, doors, no door opens for you and nothing happens, and you're just like, well, what do I do? I had to kind of just turn to, my friends and the nightlife, going out every night and just making some moderate to horrible mistakes. Just having fun, everybody tries to find a way to get things off their mind, so I just went into the studio and eventually just kind of hit rock bottom, and with the advice of Jamie Johnson, kind of went in the studio and just got my own album with my band and my buddies, and so just kind of doing it to rejuvenate sort of a passion of why I moved to Nashville, and it was so much fun. After a year, Brad Paisley took it to Sony, and Sony was kind enough to pick it up and leave it as is, and it was just a dream come true. So no, I wasn't expecting anything.
That's awesome. So how did you decide what singles to release after you got with Sony?
Well, one cricket song at the time was getting just a little bit of airplay just from some friends that were kind enough to help me out, and that kind of caught the attention of Sony also. They're like, well, how's this happening? And luckily from the previous record deal, some of these guys were, there to kind of help me out. So I was kind of thinking, well, maybe we should just roll with this. It's already played a little bit, but, Sony said, hey, well, why don't we just come with something, off the album that no one's played, that way we can have a full launch, full chance. And I was like, that's fair, of course. So Joe Galani, who was the chairman of Amherst at the time at Sony in Nashville, he said, man, Lover, he said, I think would be a great first single. And I said, man, I agree. My only hesitation is that it is a remake. It's a cover. Although it's not a country song cover, I don't know if that'll hurt. I said, no, I didn't want to go in there with, one track against me doing a cover. There may not be a certain identity. So the fact that, we played on it and I unfortunately sang all the parts, I knew that maybe that would be a way to try to make it my own, where it just wasn't a cover. So I found the confidence to release it. I'm very, very thankful he had that idea because, it changed our lives, and thankful every day for it.
Mm-hmm. So, all of your tracks, well, most of your tracks at least, have such like a cool, laid-back feel. Like, is that just you, or why is your music so like that? Who influences that?
Well, it was interesting when we were making the album. Using all these different sets of minds and hands. We decided to, if we're going to use different musicians and everybody else in Nashville, our band, and maybe we should at least try to come up with tones and certain textures to our advantage if we could. So since we're only using about half the instrumentation as everybody else, because we don't have 8 people in our band like you normally cut with an album, so every note's important. So we came with a lot of acoustic driven things. That way the electric tones and textures would stick out a lot more than if they're just sort of covered up in a lot of different electric textures. So a lot of it was just out of lack of resources and trying to find a way to make it work where it didn't sound like you're playing in a garage.
Yeah.
which I've done. So this next album, you kind of learn, I guess, what the people that are gravitating towards your music look at, like, what they feel, and it really helps you identify yourself because, everything we record is a part of us. It's just maybe a different layer, and so I really think that this next album we're working on, I've really taken the approach to of that, listening to people that support our music, and I think that even on this next album, it's definitely going to be more groove-oriented.
Mm-hmm. So, you write all your own stuff, right, lyric-wise?
Yes, we're 10 out of 12 on the first album, and this next album I wrote every song.
Do you think that sets you apart in today's country music world, where a lot of artists are relying on songwriters to put out their stuff?
Well, that has been, it seems like the case there for a while, and it seems like now, just as we speak, there's really starting to become a resurgence of singer-songwriters, because, like, for instance, Lee Bryce is one of my best buddies, just wrote Eli Young Band's #1 hit. He wrote a couple others for people including Garth Brooks, and he's one of the best singer-songwriters in Nashville, and so he's out right now, and there's just it seems like some of the guys that cut their teeth in the honky-tonk are starting to come around, and so I think we're going to see a nice surge of singer-songwriters over the next decade.
Now, you've written for a lot of other artists, right?
Yeah, I got my start cutting my teeth doing that, and as well, Lee and then Garth, and I have a few songs, Garth Brooks, Blake Shelton, Jamie Jones.
So since you've written for a lot of other artists, do you feel like that's helped you with your songwriting and helped you with your performance?
Yeah, because, a lot of people will insult the machine of Nashville, the process, but reality, no matter how much anybody wants to say they aren't, I'm still a product of Nashville, although I've done everything, on my own. That was just because no one would help us. But at the end of the day, I learned how to do all that stuff in the studio from the best musicians in the world. That we get to meet when you're 21 and you're blown away by these guys, and you see them just do all these amazing things for years, and you're just like, wow, you can't help but just pick up something, from them. And so for me, that you are kind of a product of that, but I think that another thing which is really exciting is I see a lot of these other people getting deals off making their own records and choosing their own things. And when I made my own album to be the Sony, if I wouldn't have had my success as a songwriter and that experience, I don't think anybody would have really trusted the creativity behind it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They'd be like, this guy just came to town. We're not going to invest this kind of money in this. So to go into the track record and say, hey, hopefully this means something to you, but you had this much success as a songwriter, not the most in the world, but enough hopefully for you just to at least get this album a chance, and it worked. So thankful for that. So yeah, definitely helped me out.
Mm-hmm. So now you're heading out for this On Fire tour with Miranda, Lambert, and Chris Young, right?
Yes, I'm so excited for that. I'm big up, Miranda a little bit on. I was out with Brad Paisley and Blake Shelton last year in the Amherst office of Married to Blake, so she'd come out on her time off, and we all became really good friends, Blake and Miranda, and myself, and so it was really exciting, and she was kind enough to extend the invitation to come on tour, and Chris Young has been one of my buddies for about 5 or 6 years, and just solid guy, so I just look forward to it, and I'm such a big fan of music that I just can't wait to get to hear those dudes sing every night. I'll be the happiest country music fan in the house.
Actually, the first time I saw you was at the H2O2 tour, and you really blew me away. That's kind of how I first became a fan of you. And no problem. I was wondering, is it kind of difficult to be the first guy on at a show like that? Kind of like setting the pace for the night, or do you like it?
Yeah, I do love it. It's all this year, kind of speaking, this year, this last year we've had has been a huge learning experience. And every day is, when you cut your teeth in the honky tonk, and then you go from crowds from 100 to 25,000. It's definitely you gotta open your eyes and think, how do I somehow learn to connect to the person in the very, very back? Because, I've been to those concerts and I've felt connected to the artist, so I know it takes a lot of talent and it takes a lot of hard work to be able to do that. And Brad and Blake have figured that out. So I just spent this year trying to learn and hope that I was heading in the right direction. Maybe someday obtaining that. And the size of the stage too. It's just a lot of adjusting. And so for me, just kind of getting thrown into the ring and saying, go knock it out. So I went out there and trial and error every day. We tried to switch our set list up. Something felt weird, and you just eventually kind of learn, what works for yourself, and helps the crowd roll with you.
What songs have worked the best for you live when you've performed them as an opening act?
Well, I think a lot of times, right now in my career or anybody at my level, there's still a lot of dots to connect. People that don't rely on music every day or as their, income, things like that. They don't have their scenes play all the time. They don't care. They just like music. They don't have real life to worry about. So, it's my job and everybody around me to try to connect those dots and so that when people come see you see it, and hopefully raise awareness to try to build it, more of a support base. And so, to me, I just feel like that without knowing who you are, you gotta connect the dots. And songs on my album that are a little risque. Someone may see they're talking to their boyfriend or girlfriend drinking beer, and then all of a sudden they hear something out of my mouth. They're like, what? So I couldn't.
So, this performance that's coming up in Amherst is going to be on a college campus. Do you feel like you really resonate with the college crowd? I know you have Forever Clear and some other songs that might be good for the college crowd.
Making them think they're not necessarily offensive, but just the double entendres and stuff. It's just my only tool I developed from playing in the bars, to get people's attention. So I'm sure that'll evolve too.
So this show in Amherst is going to be in front of a college crowd, a very rowdy college crowd, as I can attest. I'm up there a lot. And I was wondering, do you feel like your music really resonates with kids in that age group? Because songs like Forever Clear and One More Drinking Song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always people there. Always I'm always be a kid at heart. I am, and maybe an immature child at heart. but yeah, definitely. I love to have fun and make people smile, and those songs are definitely written to do just that. And that's one thing, when you're in college, you're still, not settled into the real world quite yet, and may still find some of that stuff humorous. So I like playing the songs and hoping people enjoy them. But we definitely, when we play colleges, we have a great time because it's easier to cut loose. It's easier to look at, a 21-year-old junior senior in college and sing that song than a child with their parents. But a lot of times people don't realize that kids don't understand what you're saying either. I'll see movies all the time. I saw as a kid, and oh my God, no idea that was like that. The parents obviously want to provide a safe, healthy, productive environment around their child, and they know what the double entendres mean, but, that's all I'm really saying is just nonsense in my own way.
So, what do you think about, Massachusetts and that area in general as far as country music is concerned? I think it's really caught on in the last few years, but what?
Did you say out there, Boston, where you're at?
Yeah, what do you think about us in the country world?
Here's what I think. I think it's the coolest thing ever because whenever, our country, we've all established, kind of just over pop culture, what does what, who does where, the stereotypes, all that crap. And what I love about the internet and people opening their minds all over our country is everybody has a chance to love all types of music if they just give it a chance. I love all types of music. I'm from a country town. I grew up around there, and it's just always been part of me. But I'm listening to everything. I let everything affect my music, and I feel like, part of my goal is, of course, first and foremost, to try to satisfy the country music fans. But in addition, nothing means more to me than to be able to try to draw somebody in that says, "Oh, I hate country music," and then they end up loving it, and that's what I love. And so going out to Boston and these places that have WKOP, stations like that have turned country on a giant market for literally almost 2 decades. It's amazing to see the contribution. They should just get a Lifetime Achievement Award for that because who would have thought, all of us could love the same type of music. And I think that's awesome. And the same with Jersey. We got a reporter in New Jersey, where else? Everybody, we had one in Portland, Maine, Springfield, Massachusetts, all these great places that are, so proud to have country music. Mm-hmm. So I think it's healthy for the format, and it's great.
Well, what do you think is next for you? Do you think a headline tour might be in your near future?
I hope so. I think starting in July, we're just going to break off and do our own thing.